Hi, I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I'm going to show you how to incorporate small cross-stitch motifs into magnetic bookmarks. The tutorials that I found for making magnetic bookmarks with washi tape and paper all suggested saving advertising magnets and using those. I tried some cheapo magnets that I had on my fridge, and they did not stick to each other. So what I wound up buying were these adhesive magnetic sheets. They were $1.97 at Walmart for two 5x8" sheets, which will make plenty of magnets, and they do stick together. If you have advertising magnets that stick together, I'm happy for you. Just check before you start gluing things together and make sure you're not going to be disappointed, because I would have been heartbroken if I had glued stuff to my fabric and then found out that it didn't work. You're also going to need some small images. I found mine in the booklet A Little Country by Count on Cappy. This is something I already had in my stash, and I love the old little country stuff. There are 50 designs in here, and I did find used copies online, but it's not as cheap as I think that a book like this maybe should be. So there are lots of books of little stitching motifs, and I am sure that you will be able to find something you love for your bookmarks. I will put a link to this one in the description below in case you decide that you do want to track it down. The images that I used were about 40 stitches square, and actually a little smaller since I cropped off some background detail to make them smaller. On 18 count fabric, they worked out to about 2 1/4 inches wide. What you need to do, and I did it wrong the first time because I thought I could eyeball it, you need a 1/2 inch on each edge of your design. So a 1/2 inch below, a 1/2 inch on either side. Up here you need 1 inch, and then enough to fold it over. I tried to eyeball it like I said the first time, and I wound up splicing fabric onto the back, which is not the end of the world, not a crisis, but darn, if I had measured, this would look so much nicer. There you go. On the bottom and either side, I cut a 1/2 inch from the outermost stitching of the design, and then I am going, actually folded in half like that is not bad. I think I will keep it that size. And now I'm going to fray just a couple of threads off of the outside edge because I do like that frayed look. My original plan when I was deciding on the steps for this project was to put a layer of fusible interfacing on the back of the bookmark, and then for whatever reason I decided maybe I didn't need to do that. It was a mistake because if you look at this one, you can really clearly see that magnet through the Aida. I also did make another mistake with this one, and I used the adhesive from the magnets to hold it to the stitching, and as you can see, every time I try to separate the front and back of the bookmark, my stitches peel loose. So I am going to take this one apart, add the interfacing, and add some tacky glue, and it'll be better. This one I'm going to try to do right the first time, so I am going to iron my interfacing on there. Fusible interfacing is dirt cheap at the craft store. You can buy it on the Bolt, and buy just 1/8 of a yard would be probably a dozen bookmarks worth, and there are always other ways to do these things. I am sure you could use a layer of paper and glue it into place, or I don't know. This is how I'm doing it. I am just providing inspiration for you to do it the way that you want to do it. You'll notice I'm not giving you any measurements for this project, and the reason for that is because the size of your bookmark is going to hinge on what you decide to stitch and the size of your scrap fabric. So I've got my sheet of magnet here, and I've already cut off some for that other magnet. I'm going to lay my magnet on here, and about a 1/2 inch narrower than I need it to be, I'm going to mark a line, and then I'm going to use my straight edge to draw a line and cut it with my craft scissors. So I had a 5-inch long strip of magnet that is about a 1/2 inch narrower than my bookmark. And I have cut that in half into 2 equal sized pieces. And now I am going to apply them to my bookmark. I'm going to put one down here under, so it is over the motif exactly where I want it, and it will actually go like that. And then once I have that positioned the way I want it, I'm going to put the other these, for whatever reason, they don't like to line up exactly, and fold it over so that I get the placement on both sides of the fabric exactly where I want them to be. Like I said a few minutes ago, the adhesive that comes on these magnets already may be great for paper. I haven't used it on that yet, but it is not great on fabric, so I'm actually going to add a little bit of tacky glue to make it stronger. What that looks like in reality, I've added some tacky glue to the adhesive part of the magnet. I've already got a crease in my bookmark, and I am just going to fold that over to where these line up and then really carefully peel the magnets apart without dislodging the glue from the fabric. At least that's the plan. I love these bookmarks so much because they don't fall out of the book. They are there and there to stay, and I will be honest with you, if I'm reading a book of my own and it is not a vintage book, I'm pretty likely to fold the corner down. But these are so cute, I'm hoping they'll help me change my ways. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Michelle with Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I'll be back with you again soon.